My mind has been spinning lately, forward, backwards, this way, that way, but my meter only spins one way, which means my electricity utility keeps billing me. But my mind has been spinning because I've been installing solar. And once that's complete, good to go, up and running, we'll start spinning that meter backwards and start making money with electricity and powering our Bitcoin and other crypto mining rigs with electricity that we generate ourselves here on site. But wow, solar seemed simple, kind of like mining. Plug in a power cable, plug in an Ethernet cable, and start earning easy passive income mining BTC. I was hoping we could just plug in a solar panel, plug in a solar inverter, and start earning passive electricity. But it's a bit more than that. Hey.
Oh, hi.
What are you doing July 21st to 23rd? I thought you'd say that. Heading down to Mining Disrupt. They're back in Miami, Florida, baby. It's the biggest Bitcoin crypto mining conference in the world. Use our link to not only buy a ticket, but to get a discount. These are IntegraRacks, and this is their electroplated black steel version, along with their ground screw solution. So, what we've been doing is building these, lining them up. Maybe should have done a little more prep work with the dirt, but they have adjustability. Unfortunately, it's just, you've got to be so OCD and have a ton of time to get these looking beautiful. With some effort, they look good to pretty good, right? But there's all kinds of slope going on here with the ground. One panel's going left, one panel's going right, one panel's high in the middle, one panel's low on the left side, and so forth. And getting all of those to line up in a beautiful straight line is a bit more involved than you think it would be. We'll have another video breaking these down with more detail, but the short of it is we've been setting them up and moving these panels around. I made a couple mistakes. If you saw the last video, I talked about the initial delivery. Forced to take it at the street. It was a huge endeavor, hand unloading, trucking them in trucks, four-wheel drive through the snow back to VoskCoin HQ, which is basically our garage workshop building. And I should have just left these outside. I mean, they're solar panels, like they can be outside, but I didn't know how long it was going to take me to get there. There was more snow coming, freezing rain. I didn't want them to sit outside on the ground, get snowed on. Snow's expanding, freezing at different angles, and I just wanted to protect them. I just want to keep them safe, nice and cozy, nice and warm inside the building with the mining rigs. Yeah. Well, anyway, we trucked them to that building, and then we spent a lot of yesterday trucking the rest of them to their final destination. We've got all of the first phase of the racks in the ground. They look good, pretty straight, pretty level, all things considered. Each panel is 70 something pounds, and it doesn't seem like much, but it really takes you out of your core power zone. So 2 people, it's not that bad, but it is tiring. And remember, I ordered 216 of these Jinko 590 watt panels. So let's do some math on my handy dandy calculator. Right? We can do math. That's 15,000 pounds, approximately. 15,000 pounds in, out. Thankfully, got a forklift now, or really a skid steer, track loader. So we put them on the pallet, then I drive them over with the loader, and then I drop it and I come back. So it definitely cuts out the step of loading them in the truck, unloading them from the truck, and then picking them up again for the solar panel. We load them onto the pallet, we drive it over, we drop it, and then we pick them up, and then we put it on the racks and bolt them in. Also, in the middle of this array, we've got a trench, which I trenched, which was quite inexperienced, having never trenched anything at all, and even just getting this all hooked up and being like, well, I'm driving around a giant chainsaw now. You better get out the f***ing way, because I'm feeling a little bit like Doom Guy. I was originally spec'd to use Hoy miles here, but I ended up getting grow watts for half price. So we're gonna run those here. I'm looking at switching to Solus inverters for everything long term, but TBD, we'll see. I've already got this gear, sunk cost, got a great deal on it. It's definitely within range and specs, so it works here. So we mounted the load centers that we already had bought, as well as the inverters that we had already bought here, and just kind of working through this stuff. I wish that I'd used Square D instead of their home line, instead of the Eaton BR that I was recommended, that I've used a lot before, because the Eaton BR breakers are so expensive and the Square D ones are so much more affordable. For my function is the exact same thing. So look at this, right? We've got the center, this is in the middle of the array, we've got the trench, we've got the string inverter, right? So this string inverter will power all 24 panels in this row, and then we'll break those strings down to basically distribute it evenly throughout this inverter. Probably 888, but I need to double check that. If not, probably 6666. Then, so that all wires a solar wire, they normally call it, back into the inverter, and then the inverter wires into the load center. And then from the load center, we've got direct burial aluminum wire running back to 200 amp disconnects at the meter service. And then we do line side taps back in, and that's how this all basically works and functions. This is not necessarily an ideal setup. It's pretty good. And at the end of the day, when you do it yourself, it's so cheap compared to hiring someone. I could do this wrong 4 times and still be at the cost of them doing it once and breaking even. So I could even do all this, right, and get all up and break everything, and then do it again and still be saving hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not even more. Solar installers charge a wild premium. And like I said, this stuff has been making my head spin a little bit. But if I had locked in on using the exact parts, one panel type, one inverter type, one way, one racking system, one thing from the beginning, it definitely would have been a lot easier. But it's overwhelming. You ask AI, it says one thing. You ask another AI, it says another thing. You ask a solar designer, he says one thing. You ask some guy who sells solar parts, he says another thing. I have not gotten one single recommendation that lined up even 60% to someone else's recommendation. And that is another way this is a bit overwhelming. But luckily for you, I am suffering through this, making this video series, and I will tell you the best bang for buck, effective, efficient, easy way to navigate these things in the future. And if at the end, I'll let you know. I'll be like, if I could do this again, I would do X, Y, Z. But I think I'm getting pretty close to already knowing what I want to do with these inverters, these panels. We're moving to 600 watt panels across the board. We had ordered 590s, 630s, 720s. Something catastrophic happened with the 720s. We'll talk about that in another video. So I hope you subscribe to the VoskCoin YouTube channel. But really, to round it out, I've got 400 amp single phase electricity services. So I'm basically building a huge light commercial, sort of is what they'd call it, solar farm here. 400 amp services, but they're all in the process of getting upgraded to 800 amp services. So it's pretty simple. If you look at all of this black racking I have, I'm pretty much just going to double that at the 7 rows. I'm actually going to increase it to 8 and then double that. So I'll have 16 rows of 24 panels going back. And that'll be a little bit over-spec'd, so I'll have to clock things down a little bit, or actually remove a few of those panels, maybe disconnect one of the strings when it's all said and done. But I want to double check what that actual production is, how much albedo effect, right? How much gain are we getting from these being bifacial panels? Because they should actually be punching above their weight, right? It says 590, but with the reflection on the backside, you're basically getting, a solar panel that runs with the front and the back. That's what a bifacial panel is. So we should be hitting somewhere in the 600s for wattage, peak generation for these. And then that's also assuming with the amperage going up, if these inverters can take that. The grow watts are spec'd to max out at 13.5 amps. These are already in the 13 amp range at 590 watt. And that's why these are a little underspec from where I really want to be, especially with the bifacial aspect. We're looking at white plastic. Shout out to Vincent for that idea, and some people in the comments section here on the tube. Concrete, even black plastic. We're looking at ways to get more reflection, to get more generation, because I want to flatten out my solar production curve. So eventually you start clipping, you max out, but really what I'd like to do is not overwork my stuff too much, but produce as much energy as possible for as long as possible. And there's ways to design and refine your solar setup to be able to do that. The more electricity I produce, the more Bitcoin mining rigs I can run for longer. I'm grid tied, so the grid's my bank, one-to-one banking. So I make energy all day, double what I need, I pull it out at night, and I mine on happily forever, hopefully. A lot of this equipment will degrade over the next 30 years, but in 30 years, these solar panels are still supposed to be hitting for well above 80% of their generation. I think it's technically 87% is what they're projected to do at that point. And I'm hoping with the bifacial gain that actually in 30 years, these will actually maybe just be running at their nameplate, right? And that means whatever they're technically rated at. Like if a 600 was doing 650, right, for 10, 20, 30 years, and then it degrades over time, and now it's just doing the 600 it was originally spec'd out to be. I don't know though. I'm a dreamer. There's only so much information on this, and this is an industry that really safeguards a lot of its techniques, its parts, its design. It is not open source like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So it's been a lot to work through. A lot of people trying to take my money, not a lot of people trying to help me. So screw you guys. I'm going home. As you can see, we've got most of the panels racked here. We've got the load centers up, we got the inverters up. They are not wired any which way direction. We are working on that tomorrow and hopefully finishing that next week. The panels are not wired. I need to make some final decisions and order some wire for that. I have also ordered some wire from China, but that will take a That'll take a while to get here. I'll talk more about my Alibaba procurement and how that's gone great and also abysmal all in one. Wow. But yeah, we're gonna finish racking the panels, finish getting everything wired up, and then that's more or less done. We just did some mowing. Vincent's becoming more and more American every day. He's ripping hell yes. He's riding around on the mower. I mean, this guy went from the Netherlands' finest to gosh dang Hank Hill. I tell you what. I swear any moment I'm going to turn around and he's going to have a PBR in one hand and Budweiser in the other.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's the situation. That's where we're at. All the panels are out there. I'm pretty excited. I actually want to get the f off the computer and go start working on this stuff. So remember, drinking is overrated, but VoskCoin is not. So you better subscribe, if for no other reason than our CSO, our Chief Solar Officer. I'm Vosk on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I don't know if I already said that, but I've said it again. Hello and goodbye.